Hello again, it's Wonderskippy here. I'm making a video now about heaven and hell and about people's extravaganzas and visits to heaven and hell. That picture on the screen is somebody called Mary Baxter, and that there says Sim e proficias tamben ia grupo de anjos que Deus manda. And I don't speak Portuguese, so I'm afraid I can't translate it. But if you want the hell hotline, that seems to be it down there. If you need to know stuff about hell and you're urgent, that's who you call. Divine Revelation of Hell by Mary K. Baxter. And there she is. So anyway, like I made these videos and I put them on my channel, which is Wonderskippy Code. This channel dedicated to Bible code research, and nobody watches them. Well, not my videos on things that I talk about in general, like this one. So I doubt if anybody will watch this one either. It's like somebody like Justin Bieber. He talks about daft things about the Holocaust, and it makes front page news. Or a dancing parrot. You know, this boring stuff about heaven and hell. Nobody watches it. Anyway, down here it says this is about heaven and hell in the Bible, in Luke's Gospel. And besides all this, it says here, and beside all this, between us and you, there is a great gulf fixed, so that they which would pass from hence to you cannot, neither can they pass to us that would come from thence. So the thence is hell, and between us and you is between heaven and hell. There is a great gulf or chasm, cannot be passed. But according to these people who do go to heaven and hell, this is a load of rubbish. Obviously, the Bible must be rubbish, because they claim they can go there. So some people claim to have passed away in car crashes and things, and others, like Kat Kirk, just blink and twitch their noses and stuff like that, and they're straight off there in heaven to report back to everybody and write books so that they can make money and evangelize about heaven. And to get more material for their books, they're going to need to go up to heaven again and see some more stuff, and create a third installment, which we'll all be eager to read, and so it continues. But anyway, I was watching a video by Jesse Duplantis, and he did a video on his experience of heaven. And I don't know how he actually got there, because I don't think he passed away. But anyway, he says he was there, and he saw this chap Abraham. He recognized him as Abraham up there in heaven greeting people as they arrived. And he says to him, "You's Abraham," like that. And Abraham turns around to him and says, "How you doing?" Like that. And then Jesse Duplantis, he's wandering around heaven, and I think he meets God. I can't quite remember. It might be God. But anyway, God says to him, "How you doing, boy?" So I thought that was quite impressive, that Abraham and God and everybody else would be speaking in an accent like that. But anyway, Kat Kerr's got this heaven which is like Wally World. You know that film with what's he called? Chevy Chase. It's about National Lampoon's Vacation. Well, that's what Kat Kerr's heaven's like. It's got a roller coaster and rides and all sorts of stuff. And I was thinking, if Kat Kerr can go to hell, then maybe there's a ride up there in heaven as well, where like hell ride or something, or the hell house. You know, like you had a ghost house in these fairs. big queues of people queuing up to take the ride down to hell. Have a look at all the torment and all that stuff. I reckon that would be a popular ride, and people could make an evening of it. Maybe take a couple of cans of special brew, and a carton of Pringles, and have a party. And maybe the ride stops in hell, and people can look around, and then they can see people being poked up the bottom by a pitchfork, and say, "Hey, look at him! Wonder what he did." It's that sort of thing, and I think it would be a great ride. And I don't understand why Kat Kerr didn't put it in her book. So maybe she just didn't get to see that ride. But yeah, I mean, in Richard Sigmund's book, he doesn't have a ride to go to hell, but he kind of clings on to Jesus, and Jesus says to him, "Come on, we're going to see hell now." And Richard Sigmund says, "Oh, I don't want to do that. I don't want to see hell." And Jesus says to him, "Oh, you've got to. There's no disobedience in heaven." So he says, "Oh, okay, then I'll go to hell, seeing as I need it for my chapter in my book, to make my book entertaining. Because no book on heaven would be complete without hell. So that's why they always whack in a chapter on hell." Anyway, he clings on to Jesus, and they go off down to hell. And Richard Sigmund claims not to want to see what's going on in hell, so he tucks his face into Jesus, and down they go. But then when he gets down there, he must have had a look around, because he describes it in his chapter. So that the curiosity must have got the better of him. And then after all this terrible stuff he's seen, the usual stuff, Jesus turns round to him and says, "Now never forget that I love you." Which I thought was a bit peculiar, really, because what's that got to do with anything? This is them, this is us. Let's go back and eat some pizza, and have think about all the tormented people in hell. Despite the fact that there's a gulf there which we can't be crossed. Doesn't matter. Makes for good reading. So that's Mary Baxter on the screen there. Her book she wrote a while back. What was it called? Divine Revelation of Hell. And she's claimed to have spent a month in hell, 30 days. I don't think she was there full time, but she was like taken there every night or something. And she wrote a whole book on it, so she was big on hell. And it did very well, because people want to know what all the torment's like, so she wrote that book, and it did well. And then she wrote a whole lot of other books, Divine Revelation of this, that, and everything. If you look on Amazon, you see all her books stacked up. So she made a big success out of her book, and rode on the wave of popularity. I watched one of her videos once, and she was talking about her visit to heaven, and in it she talks about the living creatures in Revelation, and that's drawn from the book of Ezekiel originally. Anyway, she says, there were these what she called them, I don't know. Anyway, there was one with the face of a man, one with the face of an ox, one with the face of a lion, and one with the face of a flying eagle. And I thought to myself, why did she say flying eagle? Why didn't she just say eagle? It's a head of an eagle, it's got a head of an eagle. It's obvious why she said flying eagle, because that's what it says in the book of Revelation. It says flying eagle. No need to say it's a flying eagle, it's just an eagle. So most of these people, they try and keep it biblical, so that they can't be tripped up by other people who who read the Bible, and so it all kind of fits in, and then they can carry on. Except some people, of course, can't resist to chuck in the odd heresy. This idea of pre-incarnated gingerbread babies, which is in Kat Kerr's book. Pre-incarnation. I think I read somewhere that was a Mormon idea. I don't really know if it is. I haven't really done the research on it, but it could be pre-incarnation. Wouldn't surprise me. But Kat Kerr was on one of her videos. She was saying that everybody should vote for what's he called? The one that was in the last election, going up against Obama. I can't remember what he was called, but anyway, he was a Mormon and quite belligerent. Apparently, he probably would have been in Iran already if he had got into power. But I don't think there's much choice between the two of them myself. But anyway, there's loads of stuff which can be analysed and make up your own mind whether these people are telling the truth or not. I don't think any of them are telling the truth. I think they're all despicable liars, making a lot of money out of gullible people. And I was one of them once. I believed it. Well, I didn't believe this one, Mary Baxter. I thought that was rubbish right from the beginning. You can just tell. You can tell it's rubbish just by stuff that they keep repeating. But some people have got better discernment than I have. I tend to be quite trusting and think that people aren't generally liars. That people are basically good and tell the truth, but I don't think they actually do tell the truth. So anyway, that's enough of that.